Hey guys, it's Stephanie Legacy here, reminding you to love your life and live your legacy. Thanks so much for joining me today. I wanted to spend a few minutes going over my personal experience getting the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. As a reminder, I got this earlier in the week, and I will just kick this off by saying that if you don't find value in vaccines or you don't believe in the science related to vaccines, that's okay. I do, and this video is probably not going to be for you, so probably just want to click on out. But if you are like a lot of the Americans in the United States, as well as people around the world who are so thankful for modern medicine and the fact that we already have 3 vaccines in the US approved under emergency use authorization for COVID-19, go ahead and hit that like button and also the subscribe button. Can't guarantee I'll talk about COVID-19 moving forward, as it's not really my niche or wheelhouse, but I thought I would share info with you, again, my personal experience, and if you find it useful, I'd really appreciate a like or subscribe. All right, so as I shared in one of my shorts earlier in the week, I was selected through the Minnesota Vaccine Connector to receive a COVID-19 vaccine. I had signed up through the connector a few weeks to a month ago. They ask a lot of information that I think personally I don't feel is necessary, but you can choose to opt out of answering certain questions and just say you prefer not to provide, which I did. But you answer questions about your profession and your risk factors. So based on my profession and the fact that I am a healthcare professional and I have volunteered to be called up to help provide immunizations if needed, and can provide them, through various outlets, I was matched and selected to receive the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. I actually had a few of my colleagues that had received it a few days earlier, and they told me that their process seemed fairly easy. So when I got the text message on Sunday telling me I had the option to go in and select an appointment time, I jumped all over it. So I chose to have my appointment Monday afternoon. I could have gone on Tuesday. It was at the Vikings Twin City, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like their Twin Cities practice arena. It's down in Egan. And I drove there after work. Actually took a call on the way there, and very easy. They actually had people directing traffic, so they had the National Guard there. Prior to getting my appointment, you had to obviously select a time, or they had a time that was available for you. Mine just happened to be towards the end of the workday. Probably would have moved stuff around to make it work otherwise. And then there was also barcodes. So in the street, before you got in the parking lot, they asked you if you were there for an appointment. You confirmed yes. You go in, they had people with flags directing you. Thankfully, the day I went, it was gorgeous outside, so I didn't feel bad for those people who were standing outside directing all of us. Got there a little early just because I didn't know what the parking situation would be, and honestly, it took me a little while to find the entrance to this building because I hadn't been there before. So I sat in my car for a while, and then they said you can come in about 15 minutes early. So I walked up to the door with my mask on. Another National Guard person said, provide me, show me your barcode. I showed them my barcode. They didn't scan or anything. They just saw that I had a barcode and had my name there. They provided me another mask, so I could either take my mask off or put this over. So I'm assuming they want everybody to have clean masks, right? So I just put it over, no big deal. You walk in the building, there was a bathroom off to the side if you need to use the facilities, and then you just walk in and you're in there. They didn't want you to take any photos or videos. They said no media, but there's National Guard people in there. They had tarps covering the AstroTurf that looked like a small football stadium. They had weightlifting things. It was pretty cool. So you get in a couple lines. At the time I got there, there was just the slightest delay. I mean, I'm talking 3 minutes, because at that point in time, I guess every day they count their vaccine supply to see how they're doing. So you get up, you go through the line, you tell one person your name, your date of birth, and your phone number. They look you up. They direct you to one of many different areas. Then you confirm again for a different person your name and your phone number. And then there's they're basically in a line. So there's multiple people, different lines, and then behind them are different vaccinators. So then they tell you which vaccinator to go to. I went to the first vaccinator available. I had to wait for 2 people. It was a male nurse. They have their name tag. They, again, look you up with your name and phone number. Talk to you about what you're getting done, which vaccine you're getting, go over the vaccine card. They recommend taking a photo. Didn't really cover side effects. All of that was included as part of the registration. There was a vaccine information guide that you could print up ahead of time, and you had to acknowledge that you had read that prior to getting the vaccine. Did ask which arm you wanted, so I chose my right arm. I am dominant on the right hand. Because it's intramuscular, I figure I'll be using that arm a little bit more. Nothing obviously too strenuous, but gives me the opportunity to keep that moving and fluid. And I sleep on my left side, so I didn't want to be sleeping on my right arm or sleeping on my left arm after I got the vaccine. So it's a 0.5 ml injection. They do it intramuscularly, so just a quick poke. And I will say it did sting just a little bit, but nothing like intolerable, very tolerable. And then they recommend that you walk down to the next section, which is a bunch of chairs, again, all facing the same way, space 6 feet apart to the front and the side, and you have to sit there for 15 minutes. That is on your own. Basically honor code to sit there for 15 minutes. They have people from the National Guard who are trained, I'm assuming, in CPR and medical care. They also had a nurse there who were there to answer questions. They had the people who were most at risk or concern up towards the front. And I saw somebody sitting there, she had a juice box and she had some snacks, and they were kind of watching her pretty carefully. One thing I thought was interesting is somebody did ask about giving blood, which I was slated to give blood next week. And the nurse discouraged him from giving blood, saying, yes, they're only taking, your red blood cells, you'll keep your plasma, but you just don't know. I thought that was interesting because I looked on the Red Cross page, and they said that it shouldn't be a problem and that we shouldn't be concerned about it. Take that for what you will. Anyway, then you left and you walked back out to your car. They directed you back out. Bada bing, bada boom, vaccinated. So I know when you look at some of the vaccine data, at first it seems like, oh, okay, well the Johnson & Johnson vaccine isn't as efficacious. It has, it's specific to United States people, it's 72% effective versus, Pfizer or Moderna is 95% effective. So there might be some hesitation. I think the important thing to note is that with any vaccine, there still is a potential that you could get the virus, right? That's why they're not 100% effective. But the thing that's important to note with the Johnson & Johnson is that it did have 100% efficacy when it came to severe complications, hospitalizations, and death. So if you're anyone like me, I'm generally healthy, I'm a younger person, those are the 3 things I'm worried about. Honestly, I don't want to get COVID or coronavirus, but if I did, my immune system is healthy and could fight it off. The things that I'm most concerned about are those negative long-term morbidity and mortality side effects. So I feel very confident in the vaccine from that perspective. I love that it's 1 dose. I think that the amount of people that are going to be able to get vaccines and the time frame in which they are is just going to open up tremendously, because there are no storage requirements like the others in terms of a special freezer or things like that. It's only 1 dose, so in 2 weeks I should technically be protected by the vaccine versus for Pfizer or Moderna it's going to be a month and a half, because you have to have the time in between and then 2 months after your 2nd dose. Either way, I think it's important to state that whatever vaccine you can get is a great vaccine to get. I know that they're starting to look into some of the variants and how those vaccines can play out in terms of efficacy. The science will come with that, but for the time being, whatever vaccine you get is the best vaccine you get. So hopefully this is helpful. Side effects. maybe I had a slight headache. Maybe I was a little tired for the next day or day and a half. Maybe. But I was also up working late, so I can't really say. And if I'm saying maybe that much, it tells you it really wasn't that big of a deal. My arm, I had one friend who said his arm was still sore, a couple, like almost a week later. My arm, I can tell I had a shot, but it's not that sore. I mean, it's, yeah, it's not bad at all. So for me personally, it was a non-event, and the relief that I felt after was just great. And I could tell a lot of other people felt the same way. One guy even cheered and was like skipping out of there. It probably helped that we had great weather too. But anyway, as I was saying, everybody's experience is different. Everybody has their own opinions. And if you decide it's not right for you, if it's because you have concerns, that could be addressed by a healthcare professional, I highly recommend you look into those and see if you can get the assistance you need, because I do think vaccines are the way to go. But ultimately, I know plenty of people in my life who are, anti-vaxxers or just against pharma and science in general, and that's your prerogative too. I would say for the vast majority, this makes complete sense, and this should not be construed as medical advice, but let me know if you have any questions that I can help you with, and I'm more than happy to share any more details about my experience that might help you to feel confident in getting the vaccine. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.